Hi, I'm Kinley. After 30 years of teaching high school English, my husband Mark and I finally bought our dream lake house, a charming blue cottage with a wraparound porch and private dock on Silver Lake. We'd saved for decades, pinching pennies and foregoing vacations. The grand opening party was planned for Saturday, just family and close friends. Mom, Diane and I can't wait to see the place, my son James said during our Thursday night call. We're bringing that potato salad you love. Just the three of you, right? I confirmed, stirring pasta sauce. We've only got the essentials unpacked. Of course. Diane's excited to help decorate. She's got all these ideas for the guest room. I laughed, picturing my fashionable daughter-in-law with her interior design magazines. Tell her to bring her Pinterest board, not her paintbrush. We're nowhere near ready for renovations. Will do. Love you, Mom. Saturday morning, Mark and I arrived early to set up. Our neighbor, Eleanor, a retired judge with silver hair and sharp eyes, stopped by with muffins. You're going to love it here, she said, handing me the basket. Though weekends get busy, the rental down the road has parties every Saturday. We're having a small gathering ourselves, I replied. Just family. Eleanor raised an eyebrow. Define small. 12 people tops. Smart woman, she nodded approvingly. My first week, I made the mistake of telling my daughter, invite whoever you want. Ended up with 30 college kids and a noise violation. No worries there, My phone buzzed with a text from James. On our way, ETA 1 hour. Mark called from the kitchen. Honey, should we set up the surprise now or wait? Let's wait, I answered. I want to see their faces when they discover it. The surprise was our gift to James and Diane, a custom-built boat we'd purchased as a thank you for helping with the down payment. It was docked behind the boathouse, hidden from view. Eleanor left as we finished setting up. Around noon, I heard vehicles, plural, crunching up our gravel driveway. They're here early, Mark noted, peering through the window. His face fell. Kinley? There's a problem. I joined him at the window and froze. 5 cars were parking haphazardly on our lawn. James and Diane emerged from their SUV, followed by at least 20 strangers unloading coolers, floaties, and beach bags. Who are all these people? I whispered. I have no idea, Mark replied, equally stunned. The front door burst open as Diane waltzed in, designer sunglasses perched on her head. Surprise! I brought my family to meet the in-laws. James followed, looking uncomfortable. Mom, Dad, sorry about the last-minute change. Diane's relatives are visiting from Arizona, and I thought, what better way to welcome them than a day at our new lake house? Diane interrupted, gesturing grandly. Your new lake house? I echoed, watching as strangers streamed through my door without so much as a hello. Well, family property, Diane corrected with a dismissive wave. Same thing, right? I told everyone about the boat you got us. They can't wait to try it. A heavy-set man in a Hawaiian shirt clapped Mark on the shoulder. Which way to the beer cooler, boss? Diane, could I speak with you in the kitchen? I kept my voice steady despite the chaos unfolding in my living room. Sure thing, Mom K, Diane chirped, following me while texting on her phone. I closed the kitchen door as 2 children I'd never met ran past with dripping popsicles. Diane, we weren't prepared for 20 extra guests. This was supposed to be a small family gathering. She looked up from her phone, pouting. But they are family. My family. Whom we've never met and weren't expecting, I countered. We don't have enough food, seating, or... Oh, don't worry. We brought stuff. Uncle Ray has a grill in his truck. Cousin Tiffany brought 3 cases of beer. It's totally covered. The door swung open as James entered, his expression apologetic. Mom, I'm really sorry. I tried to tell her. Don't apologize, James. Diane cut him off. Your parents have this huge house now. What's the point if we can't enjoy it with everyone? I took a deep breath. James, how exactly did this happen? He shifted uncomfortably. Diane's family showed up yesterday for a surprise visit when she mentioned we were coming here today. I had to invite them, Diane insisted. They came all this way. A crash from the living room made us all jump. I hurried out to find a broken vase and a teenage boy looking guilty. "Sorry, ma'am," he mumbled. "It was ugly anyway." I closed my eyes briefly. "Everyone, please listen." The crowd quieted. "We weren't expecting this many people. Our property has septic limitations and—" "Don't be such a buzzkill, Kinley," called a woman I assumed was Diane's mother. "We're family now." Mark pulled me aside as the party resumed. "What do we do?" "I'm calling Eleanor," I whispered. 10 minutes later, Eleanor arrived with her husband Tom, a retired sheriff. "This is definitely over your septic system's capacity," Eleanor noted. "And they're parked blocking the fire access road. Not to mention they're drinking on a property that doesn't have the proper permits for this size gathering," Tom added. "What are our options?" I asked. Eleanor's eyes narrowed. "Well, as HOA president and former judge, I could cite several violations." Tom nodded. "And as former law enforcement, I could point out that serving alcohol to those minors by the dock is problematic." I spotted James across the room and waved him over. "James, we need to talk outside." On the porch, I explained the situation. "This isn't just about uninvited guests. There are legal issues with having this many people here." "I know, Mom. I'm mortified." He ran a hand through his hair. "But Diane won't listen. She told everyone they could stay the weekend." "The weekend?" Mark exclaimed. "Technically, you could report them for trespassing," Eleanor suggested. "Everyone except those you specifically invited." "Would that include Diane?" James asked quietly. I studied my son's face, seeing a deeper problem. "James, has this happened before?" He nodded slowly. "She does this all the time. Invites people without asking, spends money we don't have, makes promises she expects me to keep." Tom leaned in. "Son, that's more than inconsiderate. That's controlling behavior." "I've tried talking to her," James admitted. "She either cries or gets angry, accusing me of not supporting her family." Eleanor touched my arm. "Kinley, I have an idea, but it requires you to play the long game." Inside, the party had escalated. Someone had found our boat keys and was taking groups out on the water. Diane's uncle was grilling on our wooden deck, ash falling dangerously close to the railing. "Diane," I called, walking toward her with Eleanor at my side. "We need to discuss something important." Diane was holding court with several relatives. "Here she comes," she stage whispered. "Prepare for the lecture." "No lecture," I said calmly. "Just a question. Who told you it was okay to bring 20 people to our home?" "Oh, please," she rolled her eyes. "It's family. And technically, since James helped with the down payment, it's partly our house, too." Eleanor stepped forward. "Actually, as an attorney, I should clarify that's not how property ownership works unless his name is on the deed." "And who are you?" Diane demanded. "Eleanor Martinez, HOA president and your neighbor." She handed Diane a card. "Also a retired judge." Diane's confidence faltered slightly. "Well, whatever. We're here now." "Yes, you are," I agreed. "And since you've made this decision for everyone, you should know that your guests have damaged property, violated HOA regulations, and created several liability issues." "What are you talking about?" Diane's voice rose. "The broken vase, for starters," I replied. "The unauthorized use of our boat, the underage drinking, the fire hazard on the deck. Shall I continue?" James joined us, standing beside me rather than his wife. "Diane, this has gone too far." "Are you serious right now?" she hissed. "You're taking their side against me? Against my family?" "I'm acknowledging that what you did was wrong," James replied firmly. "You didn't ask permission. You didn't consider their feelings or the consequences." "This is ridiculous!" Diane's voice carried across the room, drawing everyone's attention. "You're all overreacting." "Am I overreacting about the scratches on our new boat?" Mark asked, joining the conversation. "Or the beer spilled on our new furniture? Or the children running unsupervised by deep water?" Diane's mother pushed forward. "Now wait just a minute. You invited us here?" "No, ma'am," I corrected. "We invited James and Diane. No one else." "Diane said this was a family lake house," someone shouted. "Diane misrepresented the situation," James said loudly. And it's not the first time. The room fell silent as Diane's face contorted with anger. How dare you embarrass me like this? After everything I've done for your family. What exactly have you done besides show up uninvited with 20 strangers? I asked quietly. You know what? Fine. Diane grabbed her purse. If we're not welcome, we'll leave. All of us. Come on, everyone. These people clearly don't understand family loyalty. As her relatives grumbled and began collecting their things, Diane stormed up to James. Are you coming or staying with Mommy? James stood his ground. I think we need some time apart. You'll regret this, she spat, jabbing a finger at his chest. I'll make sure everyone knows what kind of family you come from. Is that a threat? Eleanor asked mildly, phone in hand. Diane turned to me, eyes blazing. This isn't over. That boat belongs to us, and I'll be taking it. Actually, Mark interjected, the boat is registered in our names, not yours. We'll see about that, Diane shouted, shoving past me hard enough that I stumbled backward. Tom caught my arm. That's assault, he noted loudly. I witnessed it. The lake house fell silent after Diane and her family departed, leaving behind a mess of epic proportions. James sat on the couch, head in his hands. I'm so sorry, he kept repeating. I had no idea she'd do something like this. I sat beside him. Hasn't she done things like this before, just on a smaller scale? He nodded slowly. She's always pushing boundaries, but this was something else. Eleanor returned from making some calls. Good news. I've documented all the violations and damages. The HOA will be issuing fines, to Diane specifically, not to you, Kinley. Can you do that? James asked. When someone trespasses and damages property? Absolutely, Tom answered. The question is, what do you want to do next, James? My son looked up, determination replacing shock. I need to rethink my marriage. The next morning, as we were cleaning, Sheriff Miller arrived. Mrs. Reynolds? He addressed me. I understand there was an incident yesterday. Yes, I confirmed. My daughter-in-law brought uninvited guests who damaged our property, and she assaulted me when confronted. The sheriff nodded. Judge Martinez filed a report. We've also received complaints about the boat that was taken from your dock. Taken? Mark exclaimed. The boat is gone? Sheriff Miller checked his notes. A witness reported seeing a woman matching your daughter-in-law's description taking it around midnight. James paled. She wouldn't. My phone rang. Diane's mother. I put it on speaker. Kinley, you need to drop these ridiculous charges. Diane was just upset. What charges are you referring to? I asked calmly. The assault thing. And now the police are looking for her about some boat. She took our boat without permission, I replied. That's theft. She says it was a gift to her and James. It was registered in our names, Mark interjected. And regardless, taking it without permission is stealing. This is insane, she sputtered. Over a family misunderstanding? James took the phone. This isn't a misunderstanding. This is a pattern of behavior that needs consequences. 3 weeks later, we sat in court as Diane received her sentence. Probation, restitution for damages, and mandatory counseling for anger management. Outside the courthouse, she approached us, eyes red. James, please. I've learned my lesson. We can work this out. No, Diane, we can't, James replied firmly. The divorce papers have been filed. You can't do this over one mistake, she pleaded. It wasn't one mistake, he corrected. It was the last in a long series of them. I deserve better. What about forgiveness? She demanded, turning to me. Isn't that what family does? I met her gaze steadily. Family respects boundaries. Family asks permission. Family doesn't take without giving back. So that's it? Tears streamed down her face. No second chances? You had many chances, James said quietly. This was just the one that opened my eyes. Later that evening, James, Mark, and I sat on our lake house porch, watching the sunset. Do you think I did the right thing? James asked. Only you can answer that, I replied. But I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself. I just keep thinking about what Eleanor said, that some people never change because they never face consequences. Mark nodded. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is hold someone accountable. To new beginnings, I said, raising my glass. And to boundaries. James smiled, his first genuine smile in weeks. To boundaries. Have you ever had to stand your ground with family? What would you have done in our situation? Let me know in the comments below.